Hey everybody, this is Luke from Billings Planner. I wanted to take a minute to walk through understanding the grid. This is going to be one of my longer videos. They usually try and keep them under 5 minutes. This one's probably going to inch up about 10 minutes. We're going to do our best to get through this, but I think it's got a lot of good information and help you understand the grid, which repeats on several different tabs on the planner. You can see the My Projects Tracked, Pre-bid, bidding, and post-bid all have grids. So let's jump in. We're going to start on the bidding tab here. We're going to be on the bidding grid. You can see we're on bidding projects. These are projects that are currently bidding. First thing I want to highlight is the search projects. So you can use the search projects button on the grid to search for projects if you know a word, if you know a location, if there's some sort of information. The next item down is the rate your interest. So you can filter projects by your interest level. So if you click on the green, this will show you all of the projects you've said you are interested in. If you see the gray or white here, that'll show you the projects you said you're not interested in. And the amber or yellow will show you the projects that you might be interested in. If you ever come in and your bidding projects only have like one job on there, you can definitely use the show all, and that will make sure that you're seeing all of the projects and not just a filtered view. All right, the first column here is the project preview. Project preview is really helpful. It can show you some quick information about the project. There's some different tabs depending on the project itself. You may or may not have an addenda tab, but you can definitely see a description, addenda, and on this job location. That'll help you understand where the project is and a little more information about it really quickly. You can also add yourself to the bidders list. I've got a whole video about this, so you can check that out if you want to learn more about adding to the online bidders list. You can add this project to your calendar from this view, which is really helpful, your own phone or email calendars. You can also select your interest here. So you can see this one is selected as yes, so it's highlighted as green on the grid. You can close the project. You can open the project details from here. And you can also save or track the project. Now, saving or tracking the project is different than rating your interest. Rating your interest will highlight the project on your grid like we used to highlight the old bid list. In the olden days, we'd print off a copy and then highlight it, mark it up so we knew which jobs. That's what rating your interest does. But saving or tracking the project lets me know that you're interested in this project and that we need to send you any email updates about changes to the project bid date, any addendas, anything that changes on the project. If you are tracking the project, then we will send those to you. So that is different than just rating your interest. And also, it'll also put the project in My Projects Tracked, which will then allow you to keep an eye on all the projects that you are interested in. All right, so that's the project preview. Next up is the Documents tab. The Documents tab will appear as an icon here if we have documents posted to this project. Now, under pre-bid jobs, you may find that we don't have any documents posted, but more often than not, when they're on the bidding tab, there should at least be some sort of document posted, and you can see that indicated by the icon here. There's also an icon here with the little red plus sign on it. This is a little bit different than the traditional icon that you see. And what that means is that new documents have been added or posted to the project, or documents have been changed. So if you see that, you're going to want to review the documents and see what those changes are. More often than not, if you see the new document icon, then you're going to see a button over here that says View Addenda, and it will show you what changes have been made. So that's the Documents icon. You can also click on the Documents icon, and that will bring up the viewer, the web viewer, and you can jump into the documents that way. It's a little bit of a shortcut. The next icon on the grid here, the next column, is the days since received. So this will show you how many days since we received the project in the plan room. You can see the newest projects if you click on it to filter it, or you can sort it in reverse order and see the longest project that we've had on the plan room. And you can see here the town of Webo has had this wastewater treatment plant on here for 260 days. It's been through several addendas, several bid date changes. Yes, that is correct. It's been on here for almost a year. All right, so that's the date since received. You can also see the notes. So notes are internal company notes that you leave, and they've got a video about this one as well too, so you can review that. But the notes field allows you to leave internal notes for yourself or other users in your company. No one outside of your company will be able to see those notes. So you can click on the notes if they exist, and you can see what the note is. You can open the project, you can edit those notes and add more notes, but this is a field that'll show you if your company has any internal notes for this project. Once again, these are internal. No other companies will see these notes, only your users. Okay, bid date. The bid date field is the next column, and there's 3 different variations. There's basically this 8/19/2022 for this RFQ, has no underline and no asterisk or bold next to it. So that means that this is just the bid date. It does not have any pre-bid meetings, and it has not been changed. This icon with the underline under the date, this indicates that there's a pre-bid meeting. So if you look at the bid date and you see an underline, if you hover your mouse over it, it will tell you the details about the pre-bid meeting. And then you can see this one here has an asterisk and a bold. So this means that the project bid date has been changed. And so you'll want to review that and make sure you're aware of the change to the bid date. And then you can see this project has all three. It's got a bid date. It has an underline, which means it has an addenda, or excuse me, has an underline, which means that it has a pre-bid. And then it also has an asterisk and bold, which means that the bid date has been changed. So that's the bid date. The next field is the project name. You can sort this by project name alphabetically if you want to. Of course, you can search by project name, but this field allows you to have a hyperlink to go to the project details. So you can click on this, it'll take you to the project details. There's also a shortcut. If there are addendas, you can find the addendas under this button. Now, if the addenda has full-size plan pages, 24 by 36 or larger, then those addenda pages are going to be pulled out and you won't be able to access them from this. So we always recommend the best way to view the documents is always to go to one of the viewers and view the documents that way, because then all of the documents, all the plans, specs, addendas, any addenda plans will all be listed there. But this is a shortcut to just quickly see what addenda there are. The next field or column is the location. Location is the city where the project is located, so or the nearest city to the location. So you can see that here. And then the last column is the BXID. If you're a member of just Billings Builders Exchange, then you'll only see BBEX projects. But if you are a member of multiple exchanges, you might see some other BXIDs appear in this column, and you would see those projects as well. All right, moving along. We've got the show map icon. So the show map icon is where you can see a map view of the projects. And so you can see them all plotted out on a map and see where all the projects are located. You'll find that our projects are located in Montana, Wyoming, North and South Dakota. So that's the map view. You can find those on here. You'll also see your interest meter rated on there. And so that's how you use the map view. There's the calendar view. So the calendar view will show you the projects bidding on that day. And if you click on it, it'll show you a list of the projects on the right here. So that is the map view. You can definitely see what projects are bidding on what day. Handy tool. All right, let's go back. There's the watch list. So the contact watch list allows you to track companies that you may be interested in working with. So there might be a company that you like working with, like Billings Builders Exchange, for instance. Or maybe there's an architect or general contractor that you always like to see their projects. If you add them to the watch list, you can just search for them here. It'll add them here. Once you got companies on the watch list, it's really easy. You just click on them and it'll show you projects that they are interested in another grid view. So you understand the grid, but you can now see projects that Billings Builders Exchange is working on or has worked on. So that's a good way to keep up to date. It's called the watch list. It's a great way to just track companies that you might be interested in. All right, exporting the grid. You might have this view and you might want to export it out, bring it into another spreadsheet. You can export that with that button right there. It'll just give you a CSV file. Really easy, nice, simple way to do that. And then the last icon is the print grid. So if you click on print grid, it'll give you a printable view and you can print that out, save it to a PDF, whatever you want to do. So that's a way that you can print this out if you want to track it on paper. I know a lot of companies still like to do that. All right, so that was a high level overview. I hope it found at least maybe one or two things in there that you didn't know about the grid, but we'll see you in the next video.